Here at Discover Your Home. I want to thank you again for joining me here tonight. And we are going to be talking a little bit tonight about, I get asked this quite a bit. Let's see, drop back, welcome. Alexis, how are you? Thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about how often do I need to paint my home on the inside. And my answer to that question is as often as you like, really, because I've never, in a few cases, I shouldn't say never say never, I hate painting. Yeah, I hear that a lot. And I hear people that love it. And honestly, for me, I grew up in the business, and for me, it's very second nature. I've done a lot, and it's actually very, I like to think, so while I'm working, and if I'm working by myself, I have some quiet time there. So I digress. So moving forward here. So how often? Realistically, I can't remember, only in a few cases where paint is actually literally, so worn so thin on a wall that it has to be painted. Oh wait, that's my home. No, just kidding about that. Really, it gets back to when are you ready to change it? When are you ready to change the color? When are you trends are usually 6 to 8 years. You're going to find that you're going to go through this. Now everything right now is like everything is gray. The gray is like the new thing, and then a few years ago it was just a taupe color, and it was and things do change. They do evolve. So and it depends on you got budgets, you got what's it going to take to get it done. In a very pragmatic sense, I always look at it and say, it's kind of more maintenance than just decorative, because it is important that decorative is. I'm standing off white. It's fine. Yeah, I try to keep it simple. Occasionally, I've gone a little bold. Gray is not for you. That's cool. I mean, it totally. I've seen it come and go. I've been in this business long enough. I've seen grays were very pastel grays were very popular in the late 80s, and they kind of went away, and they're kind of coming back, but in a different fashion. So you start seeing trends that kind of drive when you want to change the look of your home. So everybody's a little different. Some people like to change it a little more frequently. What I say is break down your home into smaller pieces. Don't do maybe just one. What's an up-and-coming color? The one that I've used probably that as of lately, Benjamin Moore Revere Pewter. I cannot tell you, for some reason that color it's really a faint gray, very faint, beautiful, looks great, especially with white trim and really dark colors like that real dark walnut color. Okay, so moving on. So when do you want to change colors? When should you paint? Hey, got graduations coming up. We got weddings coming up. A lot of times it really gets back to, what do you need done? You need that foyer. The foyer's been beat up, and you just haven't had time to do it, or you're having, a reception at your home, or a baby shower, and you want to get the dining room cleaned up. Now's the time to get it done. That's when you want to get it. A lot of times people are racing to get their work done before a wedding or a graduation or such. But that was definitely a way to go ahead and get your house some work done there. How often? When you're selling or moving. That's a great time. Start with that front door. Get over there, get some cleaner on it, wash it down, get it clean. If it doesn't look good after you clean it, paint it. Get a fresh coat of paint on that door. Why? And I'm going to go back to what I've said time and time again. You do not get a second chance to make a first impression. You would be surprised how much that says when somebody comes up to your front door, walks in and says, boom. It does make a difference. Have your team paint before you go to college. very funny. I like that. Okay. Yeah, and then maybe when they come back too, right? Okay, so when you're selling or moving, freshen areas up. There again, high traffic areas, your foyer, hallways, kitchens, bathrooms, freshen up. Wash all doors, too many pictures of dirty walls, and door frames. Yes, clean, 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 and a little paint here and a little polish there. I think makes a huge difference because people are going to come in and see as fresh of a face as possible. When it comes down to wear and tear, I would say cycling anywhere from 8 to 10 years with my customers. They decide, if you got a larger family, I got 3 boys and 3 dogs, okay? So, there's some stuff that can wash and get cleaned up, but it really, sometimes you just need to get a good coat of paint. I mean, you can be rough on a house. We got a smaller home, and being able to have dogs and kids and everybody running around, and you're running out the door and your suitcase hits the wall or your briefcase hits the wall, and so it certainly can beat up your home. So natural wear and tear. So depending upon there again how big of a home, how kind of tough you are in your house, I would say every 2 to 4 years you're going to find those high traffic areas are going to need to get painted. Then you're going to get situations where you're going to change because that 7-year-old boy is 14 now and he doesn't want that soft pastel color. He wants something a little more masculine because now he's not a boy, he's a man. And girls, I don't have girls, but we've done a lot of work for customers who have daughters that don't want pink anymore. They want something, they want electric blue on one wall, electric green on the other, and an electric pink on the other. So, I mean, they're all out there, and those are the reasons why you're changing. I find that there's very, very rare cases on the inside that you will do wear and tear. It's usually high traffic areas and how tough you are on your home. I always tell folks this. I know it's easy and understandable, common, but it's the most cost-effective way to change the look of your home. Painting. I mean, if you break down a gallon of paint, okay, stop and think about it. If you break down a gallon of paint, cost per square foot, typical gallon of paint covers about 300 square feet. Roughly a good gallon of paint is between $30 and $40. You break it down, it's pretty cost effective. A way to change the look of your home. Okay? You can take furniture that you have now and you're just getting tired of it. It really does make sense that you're going to go ahead and say, put a totally different color. Put an accent wall. Go with I'm going to throw a color out there. Go with a real deep purple. Or something that's going to just change the dynamics of the room. Okay, so it will get you kind of looking at it from a different aspect. Change up a couple pictures, and you would be surprised on there again how little money that you have spent on changing the look of the room. Okay, those are pennies saved. Let's see, best high quality paint for wear and tear on the inside. There's some great products out there. And I'll tell you what I use and why I use the products that I use. I generally work with the major paint manufacturers, not because I'm a shill for their companies, but because I know the product. I know the people in the store that are selling us the product. I've used the products, and if I have a problem with the products, they help me solve, if it's their problem, the problem with their product. And after 30 years of working in folks' homes, you will run across a product that fails in some respect, or maybe it was improper application. But the reason I use Benjamin Moore and Sherwin Williams, those two main manufacturers, because one, they're easily, you can find them. They got great selection. They got great staff to help you make decisions in color selection and walking you through and getting you products that you're going to need for your painting project. I like, if I'm going to give a recommendation on a moderately priced paint that does a great job, I would say Sherwin Williams Super Paint. And if I were to go moderately priced paint, I would say the Ultra Spec 500 for Benjamin Moore is a moderately priced product that does a great job. So I think that's really a good kind of avenue. You can go up from there. You can go to the Benjamin Moore Aura or the Sherwin Williams Emerald, and they do perform a little bit better. They wash up a little bit better. They level a little bit better. But hopefully these are some of the little things that I can help you guys kind of do some work in your home. So I want to thank you again for joining us. I'm Mark with Discover Your Home. Have yourself a wonderful evening and a fantastic weekend. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again. Good night.